Big story about Gary Ablett today, sitting on 98 goals. Our commentators are Drew Morford, Dennis Cometti, I should say. Don't put a Mac in front of him. Got enough Macs here. And also Don Scott. Let's have a look at the highlights of the opening quarter and Ablett in particular.
This for the first goal of the game. It's taken nearly 7 minutes. Ablett, 99 for the season. Ablett's on the edge of the goal square. He needs one more for the century. Stoneham honours the lead to the pocket.
Oh,
Ablett
no,
Ablett. He's got it.
No.
It's a mark. This for the second fastest century in VFL AFL history. And there it is. Only Bob Pratt got there quicker, and that was one game quicker. Gary Ablett gets his century in his 14th game for the season.
Amazing performance, isn't it? Great player. Geelong flew away against North Melbourne and led at quarter time 6-6 to 2 points, 12 scoring shots to 2. Couch also kicked 2 in the opening quarter as we go back to the action at the start of the second term.
Well, what can North Melbourne do? Trailing by 40 points at quarter time. We start the second term. Away go the Cats again through Gary Hocking. It bounces through the 50. Scott runs onto it, leaves Laidley behind. Scott gets the hand pass away. Steele over his shoulder. What a goal!
What a start. But did he run too far? I think he did, Robert Scott. The umpire said no. Oh, it took a long time to get rid of it, Robert Scott. Aspiring play.
I think he was going that fast that he had to run 40 metres before his brain caught up with his legs.
So the trauma continues here for North Melbourne. They posted their first goalless quarter of the term, that first term of the season rather. Here's a Schenko punching it towards half forward. Pyman is buried. Steve Hocking the offender, and Pyman will get the free kick. And of course Ablett posting his 100th goal in that opening term. Second for Geelong, the second of 6 in the first quarter, and they've started with a goal at the beginning of this second term. Here's Robert Pyman then alongside the centre circle, kicks inside the 50. Good Marco Riley, body to body, and he won the contest against Longmire. This is Barnes. Good shepherd there by McGrath, bought some time for Buse, close to the boundary line. The hand pass all directed though. It comes to German, who boots it back inside the 50. Longmire in front, good grab. Or is it Crocker? It's Crocker who's taken the mark. About 35 metres out, slight angle.
Got a good leap, Crocker.
Easily their best forward this afternoon.
He had a name for himself as a half-back last year.
Longmire and McAdam unsighted so far. North going at their first goal 2 minutes into the second term. And the Crocker kick is good.
Back in the middle. Couch trying to wrest it away from Clarkson. Schwass takes it. Standing start kick, 50 metres. McGrath lost sight of it. Comes back to him though. Blind hand pass, sits up all right for Barnes. He pops it for Poole. Spun round a couple of times. I thought that might have been worth a kick to Pyman. Comes to Bairstow. Bounces over Scott's head. He's got too much pace for Laidley. Shows him a clean pair of heels for the second time in 2 minutes. Centering kick. Hickmott. It's punched on towards the goal square. Chopped off by Archer. Across the ground he comes. Scholl and Poole. Oh, we want to get it out, Scholl. Now Poole's over it. Support from Steele. And eventually the ball goes over the line. 48-8. Geelong well in command.
Boundary throw in. Man's in front. Could have almost got a free there. Comes back to the boundary and goes out of bounds. Geelong attacking. They've dominated this game. The midfield has been terrific for them. They're running players, all getting plenty of touches. Stoneham props in front. Directs it down, but Stevens in the road. Boots it high towards the wing for North. Offhand, Stephen Hocking to McGrath. But chips it out wide. The runner jumps over the footy, and the ball goes out of bounds. So a throw in on the wing. 7-6 to 1-2. Bright sunny conditions. The air is crisp. It's a lovely day for footy. Ashenko did very nicely, directing it down to Buckley. Stevens flicks it out the back. A throw is called. And Geelong's Hocking, that's Gary, will get a free kick right on the wing. Gary Hocking has been busy as well. Goes short to Poole. Stevens, who stood the mark, chases Poole, who centres the ball. Too much carry for Brown. Ablett was pushed in the back and will get a free kick. No, play goes on. They get the goal in any case.
No, well,
Brown has run on and kicked the goal, but it will come back. Advantage not paid this time. And I guess fair enough, because the players almost stopped, sensing it was a free, but Brown was oblivious to that. He ran on and kicked the goal under very little pressure. So Ablett a chance to post his 101st of the season, his 3rd of the afternoon.
The umpire a little slow giving that. I suppose waiting for the advantage.
Gary Ablett to stretch the lead to 46 points early in the second term. It looks pretty good. Ablett has his 3rd, and Geelong have what appears to be a match-winning lead.
Very accurate, Gary Ablett, when kicking for goal. Usually 2 goals to every point. Two of his goals have come from frees. You can see there Michael Martin mouthing off.
Huge deficit to overcome for North Melbourne. This will really test their character. Bairstow goes out of the middle. Ablett on the lead. We could be in for a feast here this afternoon. Well, Martin thinks it's his. I've got news for you, Mick. Ablett will be kicking it over your head in a moment.
Better play when he's on the lead, Ablett.
Hasn't he made the MCG his own? He's kicked 14s, 12s. He kicked 9 in the grand final in 1989, a performance that nobody who ever saw it will ever forget it. And if he kicks truly here, this will be 4 up to the 7-minute mark of the second quarter. So perhaps stand by for more double figures. Gary Ablett. He got the century out of the way nice and early after about 10 minutes. Now not a care in the world. Geelong well on top. Ablett well on top. It comes back enough? Not enough. 3 goals, 1 to Gary Ablett. I can't wrap you any more than that, son.
55 to 8. So despite the miss, it's still a very handy lead. Here's Smith. Goes wide, intended for Scholl. Brown made it hard for him and copped an obliging bounce. He pulls it back across his body. Ross Smith is there with Ablett. Ross Smith body to body did well. This is Steele. Kept his eye on the ball. Well played. Ablett didn't. Fumbled as a result. Was taken down hard too. In goes Hocking. Back comes Ablett. Hits the deck. Steele goes over the top of him. Riccardi tackled by Schwass. Suddenly some tempo in this. Ablett again. They made a beeline for him. The kick comes out of defence around the outer side from Schwass. And it's fisted away and we'll have a throw in. Barnes going hard at that ball.
Got a great leap, Barnes. Big leap. Going to centre half forward, Barnes.
Stoneham and Ashenko. Ashenko directs it down. Riccardi's there though. Hooks it back. Where's Ablett? In that pack as well. Brown in from the side, juggles the mark. It's all falling into place for the Cats.
Oh, that was a ripper.
Paul Brown, he's kicked 1. Sharp angle in the right full forward pocket, but the way the Cats are playing this afternoon, big chance here. This game is almost history. 8-7 to 1-2. This for their 9th goal then. Brown's kick slides across the face. He's not happy. Out of bounds on the full in the opposite pocket. Man to take the kick.
Possessions are 121 to 74 in favour of Geelong. Marks are 34 to 11. And so the dominance is all around the ground as well as on the scoreboard. The score is 55 to 8 up towards centre wing. Hughes with good poise to Hinckley. Back to the centre corridor for Gary Hocking. He steams towards goal. Ablett leads. He's got too much pace for Martin, but that's an awkward half volley. Hit the deck pretty hard, actually, and slid on his nose. Comes to Brown, who's going well. A hand pass is a ripper. Stoneham off the left. He's kicked it.
As Barry Stoneham went in and kicked his goal, I was watching Gary Ablett behind play Michael Martin, and he tangled. And accidentally, Martin's boot made contact with Ablett's head when he was on the ground. Stoneham, he's the player for them at centre-half forward. He's been played in defence, ruck, everywhere, but he is the centre-half forward in this team.
Geelong started the day with a percentage just over 100. Nice dose of percentage here so far. Away comes Stevens. He's got other ideas. North, one of their rare sorties forward. Up goes Schenko. Did well to find the ball on the ground. Tries to snap. Not particularly effective. It goes very high in the air. O'Reilly came to meet it. Crocker snaps. And the ball pitches back. It's still not gone across the line. Well, how about that? Stephen Hocking comes away quite remarkably. Finds Poole. Runners on down the ground. Barnes is there. Buse is there. It's the latter that's got it. Buse. Boots down towards half forward. Hickmott, it bounces just inside the field of play and goes out of bounds. Well, that was remarkable. It took 2 hops, that ball, across the goal face. It seemed headed for a behind, then a goal, and then came back. And Geelong played to the whistle. This ball knocked forward, missed by Poole, and the ball trickles across the line once more. In that case, there was no whistle, but they just kept on playing and tracking the ball. They didn't concede it was going to be a score.
We have hit-outs and centre breaks in favour of North, but it's counted for nothing. Here goes Steele to the edge of the goal square. Barnes is there with a big leap. Comes off hands to Scholl. Away to Martin. Under a heap of pressure, the North defence. Kicked by Martin. Riccardi with terrific pace. The hand pass into Barnes. Low ball to the 50. It's thumped back out. Pyman to half forward. Crocker and Hinckley. Crocker's hand pass. Stephen Hocking takes it to the boundary line for a throw-in. Allison has had 1 possession. McAdam has had 1 possession. You could pick a few. Stevens is going all right. He's had 12 for North. But by gee, they've had a few passengers. Laidley 3. Larkin 3. Oh, Roberts, a mighty kick. Longmire. Yes, he held it.
His marking really has improved overhead, John Longmire. He wasn't too well earlier in his career. He's not really flash overhead, but in the last few weeks really gained confidence.
John Longmire. Oh, great goal.
Very nonchalant.
Still in the second quarter, we go ahead a little. 11.5 minutes remaining. North Melbourne's added 2 points, but Geelong leads by 45.
Just under 11.5 minutes to go to half-time. Pyman dishes off the hand pass to Schwass. Has to come back to Pyman. The kick towards the 50, but it's on the chest of Colbert, who's been an excellent player. Gary Hocking's hand pass floats up to Scott. Look at them charging down the middle. Steve Hocking back to Scott. Oops, you're in trouble. He knew he had to get rid of that in a hurry.
It's well done by Buckley.
Now here's Laidley. North on the rebound. This will test their character. They haven't been flogged all season.
Free kick surely to Longmire.
Geelong free.
Oh, O'Reilly had hold of Longmire's jumper.
I'm watching that boy Colbert. He's taken 5 marks and had 9 possessions. Looks a player.
O'Reilly high towards midfield. Stoneham comes on the lead. Man reaches over the top and fists it forward. Stoneham on his knees tries to hand pass it out. Eventually it spills wide to be taken by Buse. It goes down towards half forward. Spearing pass. Hickmott couldn't control it. Here's Laidley now getting into the game. Laidley across half back. Distributes it well. It's taken by Stevens. Some indecision. Stevens goes wide. Boots inside the 50. Archie will need to stretch. Very unkind bounce. It comes to Steve Hocking. Well done by Archer. And the kick bounces just inside the field of play and goes out. 9-7-61 Geelong, 2-4-16 North. In the opening term, Geelong may have set it up. It was a memorable term for two notable aspects. We saw North held goalless for the first time this season, and Gary Ablett posting his 100th goal of the season. This is Bairstow close to the boundary line. Little chip pass further afield. Hickmott back to goal. Goes to Scott. He controlled it well. Gets by Laidley. And now he's away. Blistering speed. Pulls it back. Ablett comes on the lead. Oh, Clarkson. Great courage.
My word, Clarkson.
And Martin really has no need to go after Ablett there, I don't think.
No, Ablett was on. Now he'll get that decision reversed.
Well,
now Ablett was only after the ball.
he does commit so hard, Gary Ablett. We've seen that on more than one occasion this season, and sometimes it's got him into trouble, but that time certainly he was on the lead. Clarkson showed great courage to come across his path, but I'm not sure that Ablett, until the last stride, was even aware of him. Here's Laidley back to midfield. Crocker's in front, taken by Buckley. He's lifted. Here's Blakey, who runs to the 50. Probing kick towards the kickoff line. Roberts over the top. It spills to the pocket. Longmire. O'Reilly goes after him. Great desperation to get him in the tackle. It affected the kick, and Handley takes the mark.
Over half-back. All North Melbourne. And the mark is taken by Blakey. In between wing and half-forward for North. Big pack of players here. Man in front, good mark, O'Reilly, who's making it hard for Longmire after making it hard for Rocker last week, who kicked just 2 goals. Kicked by O'Reilly out to centre wing. Scott with Laidley. Riccardi beats Schwass. No mean effort. Scott kept going. That's terrific football. They've worked the old 1-2 and back to 1. Riccardi to the pocket. Ablett.
Oh. Well,
and that's a 50-metre penalty against Martin, so this is a gimme goal for Ablett.
well, if that's 50, that's reportable, isn't it?
Well, you're right, Dennis. You are dead right.
Has to report it.
The umpires, that's amazed me over the years, how the umpires will give a free kick for that, yet they haven't got the courage to make the report.
There's little doubt what that was all about.
Ablett right in front for goal number 4. And Gazza didn't even look back at Martin. There's no eye contact from the Geelong man. He's just getting on with the business.
Mick's still having a few words. A great competitor, Martin. Done well this year. Not the most enviable position on the field in which to play full-back.
Well, the scores are way apart, but those two are very close, and that could erupt at any moment. 10-7 to 2-4. Two of the hardest doers in the league are unimpressed with each other as Handley goes up, gets it down. Hocking goes off the ground. Hickmott's in front, shows great desperation, knocks it Geelong's way. Mann was legged surely and will get the free kick. So Mann up from half-back. And what's been a dirty day for North so far. Gets it away to Scholl, who boots it towards half-forward. Ashenko goes back with great courage and takes the mark. Wants to play on. Pyman's got it. Pyman kicks into space in front of the leading Roberts. Archer had a half chance, couldn't control it. O'Reilly went to ground. Archer does brilliantly. Roberts, the snapshot, misses to the near side. Approaching half-time, and North Melbourne a long way off the pace in this game.
It's incredible, really, considering their worst defeat was last week by 15 points. And what you can say about North in every game this year is they're never beaten. But, gee, they look well beaten today. 50 points down. 7 minutes to go to half-time. O'Reilly. Schwass a big leap, but he can't affect the spoil. Colbert another mark. Off to Riccardi, who's slicing them up. Poole seems to have a panic. Not for the first time. Trevor Poole in the direction of Ablett.
Free kick.
Front on charge.
Yeah,
Free kick.
Free kick. Blakey was committed. It's about the only thing Blakey could have done. But he's a better player, Ablett, when he's on the lead. He'd prefer to use body on body. He's so quick over the first couple of yards. Very difficult man to contain.
Now kicking for his 5th, and that'll be 3 from free kicks. Right in front, 35 metres out. 5 for number 5. Oh no, he missed it.
No, it didn't look. He wasn't happy as soon as he left the boot. Started to twist and swerve with his body, willing the ball through, but it just didn't straighten.
A few Cat fans trying to will it through as well. They fooled me.
51 points the difference then. Ball to the outer side. Handley from behind Ashenko, trying to fist it forward. Scott on his knees. In plenty of trouble. Couch has it wrenched away by Buckley, who goes after it with great courage and was pushed in the back. Won't get a kick. Well, Ben Buckley has been inspirational in this term.
He's done well, hasn't he, Buckley?
But few have gone with him. 11 possessions so far, and hard work like that doesn't register as a stat. Ashenko is held. So Ashenko to take this free kick at half-back. North being matched in commitment at the moment. Laidley put the arm up, and the free kick will go to the Geelong player who's on the ground. That's Riccardi.
Well, we saw exactly the same thing happen last night with Kickett. Derek Kickett for Essendon, putting his hand out, warding off the Collingwood player, and the free kick given to the Collingwood player.
Peter Riccardi, where's Ablett? Comes on the lead, it goes in his direction, it falls in short. And Ross Smith gets in the road. Smith in the bright sunshine. High kick towards the wing. Ashenko will fly from the side. Off hands. Riccardi again. They're dominating midfield. Rock and Ramiro sorely missed. Scott goes over the top. Steele feeds it in. Hinkley, a chance to goal from 40. It's close. It's good.
They're playing with plenty of confidence, Geelong. Hinkley's first. And what a drubbing North Melbourne are receiving. Everything that Geelong's doing is coming off. North Melbourne, they just can't make anything run for them.
He goes back to his position. It's not on the forward line. He's come from half-back flank for that. 74-17. Couch fighting hard in the middle. Goes to Schwass. He bursts away. The kick inside 50. Free kick, not a mark. Free kick to Longmire against O'Reilly. John Longmire's kicked 1 goal 1. The marks are 45-19 in favour of Geelong. Looks like they brought their own footy today. Longmire for his second. Gets it.
Well, there was a lot of holding going on between O'Reilly and Longmire. I wouldn't like to make judgment on who is instigating what, but they're both culprits of holding. Longmire receiving the free kick on that occasion. 2 goals have come in this the second quarter, but O'Reilly's still doing a good job.
'23 plays 74, so 51 points the margin. Under 4 minutes till half-time. Handley goes hard at it. Ashenko, though, did well. Schwass. His kicks out of the centre today have been forced so very wide, and this is no exception. Hughes goes after it, gathers it, and boots it down towards half-forward. Well-weighted kick, too. Scott has to wait for it. Laidley knocked it away from Mann inadvertently. Scott picked it up. Handley throws it on the boot. Brown, metres in the clear, paddles it towards the boundary line, leaves it for Bairstow. Bairstow pulls it back. Martin's in front, dropped it. Opportunity for Hickmott. He threw it. We've got a whistle, and Blakey will get the free kick.
Great centering kick by Bairstow.
And the pressure of playing on a player like Gary Ablett, in evidence there. Michael Martin had a simple chest mark, but he's just so aware. He's been so harassed this afternoon by the prospect of working against Ablett. He dropped it. A half chance for Geelong went begging as Blakey kicks it around the outer side. Scott. Buse was the flyer. Scott chips it across, and they're putting on a clinic. This is Bairstow.
Such acceleration, Scott.
14 disposals to Bairstow. Did the same last week until he was stopped in the second half. Gary Hocking. Ablett. Not this time. Poole playing a great game to celebrate 150. In the goal square. Stoneham. Welcome back, Barry Stoneham. What a difference you've made.
But what great speed in football now shown by Trevor Poole, the boy from Speed, playing his 150th game. His first game was at AFL Park for the reserves. Richmond played Fitzroy that day, and he did show some ability. And he got it across to Stoneham, best and fairest winner at Richmond.
57 points the difference then. Ashenko battling manfully, got it down again, but Handley runs onto the loose ball, and the procession about to continue. This is Poole to McGrath, who chips it out wide. Hickmott gathers the ball brilliantly on the half volley. Centering kick now. Stoneham's the target. Mann did well to fist away. Pyman didn't have it, and Pyman will get the free kick. Plays on. Blakey. Half-time can't come too soon. This is Buse marking the ill-directed kick. North need to regroup. He boots it to half-forward. Laidley gets across. High kick towards the boundary. Hocking goes after it. Well, you wouldn't think some people had written them off as a chance for the finals after that effort. This is Hinkley. Hinkley wobbles it down towards full forward. Ablett goes back. Was he held? No, he did the holding. Martin will get the free kick. That's an interesting one. So Martin has it. Deep in his own defensive area. 12-8-3-5.
Martin's third kick of the day. Crocker should have taken the mark. McGrath. Scott in front. Gary Hocking running out of room. He's kept it in legally. Well, the umpire said yes. Steele keeps it in. Mann. Stoneham. Trapped by Stoneham for Hocking. He goes back outside 50 to Riccardi. Short pass. Hickmott from 45. Another one.
The name of the game is Australia.
Outstanding. The only word for Geelong in that first half. 13-8 to North Melbourne 3-5. So they led by 63 points at half-time, surely with a game won. Let's go back to the highlights of the second half.
Back to full forward. Ashenko front position. No mark. Allison goes back to Schwass. 35 metres out. Good kick by Wayne Schwass. A goal.
Just outside half forward, passes to Tudor, the new man on the ground. He goes towards Ablett, who comes on the lead and takes the mark. About 35 metres out. Needs to follow through at the target this time. Not a better. Ablett has 5, who can go to Poole and does. Poole goes up, takes a very good running mark. Hit the ground running. Boots inside the 50. Ablett goes back in the pocket. Made to earn it, but take it he did. On the sharpest of angles. Can open it up. Elects not to. A study in concentration. Well, explain that. Quite a few possessions. He boots it down towards half forward, and that is a better kick. O'Reilly comes up in front of Longmire. Ball spills to Roberts. Bacon, goal square. How will it bounce? In fact, it carries the line. Goal.
Ablett back in the goal square. Scott hoists it high. You like his chances? Well, this is a game where he should have kicked double figures, and he might yet. He's missed some real sitters. This for number 8. Oh, no. Oh, just got in.
Handley 60 metres out, kicks it high. Ablett's in front. Oh, what a mark! What a mark! He probably should have 14 or 15 already. Ablett, goal!
Unbelievable, isn't he? Particularly at the FCG. For the 5th time this year, Ablett's kicked 10 goals or more. That's something Bob Pratt did way back in 1934 when he kicked 150. Geelong bolted in today, 25-16. to North Melbourne, 10 goals, 12. We take a look at the ladder. The other winners today, Footscray, West Coast. It's a fascinating situation. Look how tight it was.
MCG Geelong remained in the finals race with a vintage display against a disappointing North Melbourne, who has now lost 4 of its past 6 matches. For the first time in his distinguished career, Gary Ablett kicked 100 goals. He ended up with 10 goals as the Cats bounded away to a 94-point victory.
Half forward.
As we reported last night, Mick Martin had the job of stopping Gary Ablett, but the great man didn't waste any time moving to 99 goals for the season. 4 minutes later, and Ablett had his sights on the ton.
Honours the lead to the pocket.
Oh, Ablett.
He's got it. And there it is.
The second fastest 100 in a season behind the great Bob Pratt. And how about the reaction of God's disciples?
And despite the protestations of officials, he has been besieged by people here at his favourite stage, the MCG.
A 6-goal first term by the Cats, and North had its problems. Schwass came off second best in this collision as Couch stretched Geelong's lead at the first change to 40 points. And for the first time this season, the Roos were kept goalless in a quarter. And more of the same from the Cats in the second term. As Ablett clashed with Clarkson, he had 4 by half-time and Geelong had a 63-point lead.
Short pass, Hickmott from 45, another one.
Ablett's magic touch continued to bamboozle North's defence in the second half. Soon after, he brought up number 6. And while it was all over at three-quarter time, the final term was incident-packed, as Martin ended the game the same way as he began it.
Kicks into the man on the mark, and now 50.
As Ablett booted his 9th, Schwass was penalised for an off-the-ball incident. 2 goals for the price of 1, and it summed up North's woeful day.